Welcome, everyone, to the very first episode of Let's Learn About. I'm Bangladesh, your host, and I'm so excited to dive into stories that shape our world. Today, we're kicking things off with a powerful topic, the Bangladesh Revolution 2.0, also known as the Monsoon Revolution. In 2024, a student-led uprising changed the course of history in Bangladesh, toppling a long-standing government and sparking hope for a new future. So, grab a cup of tea, coffee, or whatever fuels your curiosity, and let's learn about this incredible moment together. So, what exactly is Bangladesh Revolution 2.0? If you've been following the news, you might have heard about the dramatic events in Bangladesh in July and August 2024. This wasn't just a protest, it was a movement driven by students and everyday people that brought down an authoritarian regime. Let's break it down step by step and explore why this revolution matters, not just for Bangladesh, but for the world. First, a quick bit of context. Bangladesh, a vibrant South Asian nation of over 170 million people, has a rich history of resilience. You might know it for its 1971 Liberation War, which led to its independence from Pakistan. Fast forward to 2024, and Bangladesh was under the rule of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who had been in power for over 15 years. Her government, led by the Awami League, faced growing criticism for corruption, economic struggles, and suppressing free speech. Sounds like a recipe for unrest, right? Well, that's exactly what happened. The spark for this revolution came from an unlikely source: students. In July 2024, protests erupted over a controversial government policy on job quotas. These quotas reserved a chunk of government jobs for certain groups, which many felt favored political loyalists over merit. Students, frustrated by limited job opportunities in an already struggling economy, took to the streets. But what started as a protest over jobs quickly grew into something much bigger, a call for justice, freedom, and an end to authoritarian rule. Let's talk about how this unfolded. By early August, the protests had escalated into a nationwide movement. Students were joined by workers, families, and even some political groups. Social media played a huge role. Hashtags and videos spread the message globally, showing the world the scale of the unrest. But the government's response was harsh. Reports say hundreds of people were killed, with thousands injured or arrested during clashes. The UN later found evidence of systematic human rights violations, including extrajudicial killings. It was a dark moment, but the protesters didn't back down. On August the 3rd, the Anti-Discrimination Students Movement, which was leading the charge, called for comprehensive non-cooperation and a march to Dhaka, the capital. Picture this: a massive crowd of people, young and old, marching together, demanding change. On August the 5th, 2024, everything changed. Sheikh Hasina resigned and fled to India, leaving behind a country ready for a new chapter. This moment was huge. Imagine the courage it took for students, many of them barely in their 20s, to face violence and stand up to a powerful government. It's no wonder people started calling this Bangladesh's Second Victory Day, echoing the spirit of their 1971 independence. So, what happened next? Enter Dr. Muhammad Yunus, a Nobel laureate and one of Bangladesh's most respected figures. Known for pioneering microfinance, Yunus was chosen to lead an interim government. His job: to stabilize the country, rebuild trust, and pave the way for fair elections. He called on students and citizens to stay peaceful, saying, "Violence is our enemy." But the challenges were massive: an economy in tatters, a polarized society, and the need to protect minorities, like the Hindu community, who faced attacks during the unrest. This revolution wasn't just about ousting a leader, it was about reimagining Bangladesh, what some call Bangladesh 2.0. It's a vision of a nation rebuilt on transparency, unity, and progress. But here's the thing: revolutions are messy. The interim government has to navigate political divisions, economic woes, and even debates over history, like who gets credit for Bangladesh's 1971 independence. Textbooks are already being rewritten, which has sparked some controversy. Okay, let's pause for a second. What do you think it takes to spark a revolution like this? Have you ever seen young people in your community stand up for change? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them with us on social media using #Let's Learn About Revolution 2, and we might feature your ideas in a future episode. Now, Why should the world care about Bangladesh 2.0? For one, it's a reminder that people power can change history. The Monsoon Revolution, as it's been called, shows how social media and grassroots movements can amplify voices in ways we've never seen before. It's also a wake-up call about the challenges of democracy. Bangladesh's story raises big questions. How do you rebuild after years of corruption? How do you balance justice with reconciliation? And what role do young people play in shaping a nation's future? On the global stage, this revolution has ripple effects. India, Bangladesh's neighbor, is watching closely, especially since Hasina fled there. Countries like the US and China are also keeping an eye on how Bangladesh's interim government navigates its alliances. Plus, the story of Bangladesh 2.0 is inspiring activists worldwide, from Asia to Africa, to right here at home. Before we wrap up, let's talk about what's next. The interim government has a tough road ahead. Elections are expected by 2026, but rebuilding trust and fixing the economy will take time. There's also the question of accountability. The UN's report on human rights violations during the protests is pushing for justice, and many are calling for trials to address the violence. Meanwhile, students and activists are still active, ensuring their voices shape the future. This is just the beginning of the story. Bangladesh Revolution 2.0 isn't over, it's a work in progress. And that's why I'm so excited to keep exploring it with you in future episodes. Maybe we'll dive into the role of social media or hear from someone who was on the ground in Dhaka. What do you want to learn more about? Let us know. That's it for our first episode of Let's Learn About. I hope you're as inspired by Bangladesh's story as I am. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with a friend. Follow us on insert social media platforms, and use #Let's Learn About to join the conversation. Next time, we'll be diving into another fascinating topic. Any guesses what it might be? Stay curious, and I'll see you soon.